What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another one. Got a load today going from Toledo to I believe it's pronounced Loudoun, Tennessee, just outside of Knoxville. Pays fairly well. Market's actually pretty good this week. I actually got my results from my biopsy for the mole that the doctor, felt was a bit of a worrisome one and took out, and it was a benign mole, so no further treatment. Thank God. I did have to go back yesterday, however, to have one taken out on the back of my head, that every time I would go to the barber, they would hit with the clippers, and every once in a while it would get irritated, and it started bothering me quite a bit. So they removed that, and yesterday was the first day they could have done it. So that went well. They're going to biopsy that as well, since they took it out, just to be on the safe side. But doctor didn't really have any suspicions on that. So we'll see what they say when they come back with it. But other than that, because I had to, go there yesterday, which was Tuesday. Today is Wednesday, the 11th. I took the time to actually work on the W9 quite a bit. As you guys saw in the last update. But somebody pulled over right there. I did get the fuel tank done and the step, along with the batteries and the brackets and everything else on the driver's side, along with the catwalk. Already plumbed the air for the catwalk. I just have to make the extensions for the trailer connections, as far as the power, lights and that sort of stuff. And I'll do that this weekend. And then I'm going to move on the front air ride, which is the next thing, thank God. Hopefully this weekend is decent. It's been pretty hot this past few days, man. It's kicked my ass, to say the least. So yeah, hopefully the weather holds out, as far as it doesn't rain or thunderstorm or any of that stuff. If it's really, really hot, then I'll do it in like small sections or something like that. I mean, like today there's a heat advisory. The heat itself is not bad, it's the humidity that's really, really bad, or it has been for these past few days. But anyway, it should be a fairly easy process. For the rear, so the kit itself, that 12 gauge Customs Gen 3 kit, comes with a rear, they call it an overinflate kit. So what it does is it temporarily overrides the leveling valve to air up the rear suspension. If for example, I mean, it's more for the stretched out trucks, I would say. The Kenworth's only like a 290 wheelbase or something like that, so it's not going to be a huge problem. But what that does is it allows you to temporarily overinflate the airbags, and it doesn't really do anything to them, so you can clear like any obstacles or something like that. Like railroad tracks are one where, with a long truck, and the ones that are like really peaky at the top might give you a little bit of issue. So you overinflate, you pass it, and then as soon as you let go of the overinflate button, the leveling valve takes over and it adjusts the the leveling where it should be, where it is set for. So that's already plumbed and ran. The only thing I got to run for that is just the 2 wires, you know, for the switches that are going to be in the dash. And then I already have most of the stuff sort of, you know, mocked up to where I think I'm going to mount everything. As far as the air solenoid valve is concerned and that sort of thing. Oh, and I forgot to mention, I did do the bottom of the watermelon lights, the 3 watermelon lights on the left side as well. So I have the connection ready at the air tank for, so that's the connection that goes from the tank to the air solenoid valve, and then the air solenoid valve in turn actually takes it and you know, divides the air up to the airbags, you know, based on the switch. So the switch is manual, it doesn't have a leveling valve. You air it up and you release it as you'd like, which I kind of like that a little bit, because what I typically do is if I'm on the freeway, I like it a little soft. Speaking of that, I had it for just clearing the obstacles coming out of the yard there. I like it a little bit on the soft side, which in turn, you know, it's a little bit lower in the front as well. But when I'm on the side streets or maneuvering, for example, I like it all, you know, aired up all the way. And the ones with the leveling valve, they have the right height set at a certain height, and then they might put just an air piston there that lengthens the throw of the valve arm, and that in turn dumps the air. But you can't really control it going up. At least I don't think so. Maybe I'm wrong. The ones that I've seen, and I've tried to do the homework on my own and kind of, you know, like sort of finding out how they work just by looking at them. There's really no videos of people actually explaining of how that works that I've come across. There's been questions at places that do this sort of stuff that I've called and try to, you know, gather some information. No luck with that. You know, it is what it is. I mean, I get it. You know, it's a business. I think maybe in their minds they're just trying to protect their product, so to speak, so there's not that many shops going around doing this sort of stuff, which part of me understands, part of me really doesn't. But anyway, it's a conversation for a different, you know, time altogether. But at least that's what I've gathered. So this one I actually like a little bit better, and typically what I do is if I'm making some tight turns or I'm getting close to curbs, you know, especially with this truck, it's not the easiest of trucks to, I mean, it's definitely not one of the hardest, that's for sure. It's not like it's an extremely long truck or anything, but the, you know, turn radius is quite big on this. So anyway, if I'm on, you know, maneuvering in tight spaces, and especially with curbs and stuff being on the sides, I like to air it up about 60 psi, and that actually gives me about the clearance that the truck had when he was on a stock suspension, with the 2 leaves in the front and no airbags or anything like that. So I do like this system a little bit better. With the leveling valves, you know, it's you know, out of mind, out of sight, so to speak. Or out of sight, out of mind, whatever the hell the proper saying is. But anyway, hopefully, like I said, hopefully that's this weekend. And that's pretty much me just about done with the major stuff on the outside. I still gotta change out the clearance lights, both on the cab and the sleeper on the Kenworth. And I got dual revolution lights for that from trucks. So I just have to run the auxiliary wire to, you know, for the auxiliary color. You can flip a switch and so in this particular instance it'll be blue. become amber. So I'm also waiting for a visor that's been on back order since April. I was told it'll be shipped middle of this month, which is August. And I'm still waiting for mud flap hangers with the lights, with the dual revolution lights on that as well, and then the center piece that mounts on the frame in between the two mud flaps, so to speak. I don't know what the proper name for that damn thing is. And those have also been on back order, and they're supposed to be shipped middle of this month. So, but once I get the air ride in, if the other stuff hasn't come in, I'm just gonna move directly to the inside and start getting that done. So today's load picks up at a scrapyard, which I'm not a huge fan of those loads, but you know, it pays well. So downside of it is they're heavy. Alright guys, well, I just made it to the pickup here. Had to go on the other side of the building in the yard, scale, and then come over here, and the docks are like right off the main road there. And I would have to come from this side going this way, so I'd have to, you know, go inside. It's a dock inside the building on the blind side. Been a hectic morning. I checked in when they opened up here at the receiver. Place a bit of a mess, but my appointment wasn't until 12:30, so I was told to, you know, stand by essentially, which I am doing. And then just been on the phone with brokers and such and trying to, find loads. 5 different loads I called, and every single one of them was either a multiple pickup or a multiple drop. It was priced below it was priced actually below what the market is right now anyway, for just a one pick one drop, let alone a multiple pickup or a multiple drop, which that kind of ticked me off a little bit. And then in the comments said nothing about it. Some brokers are pretty good about that. They'll put like 1P 1 D there, so one pickup one drop, or they'll put one pick 3 stops, or whatever the case is. But some other ones don't. There was a mail load that I called on from Knoxville to Detroit, and I'm trying to hurry back home because we lost power at the house yesterday during the storms while I was on the road, and they're having to run the generator. But I want to be home, make sure if something goes, I'm there. So just a stressful morning. Between all that stuff last night and having to deal with that, and make sure everything at the house is okay, and back and forth on the phone, and then this morning with trying to find this out. Like I said, it was a bit of a stressful morning, but I mean, not ideal. It wasn't a crazy morning. But this mail load that I called on was advertised as one pick in pickup in Knoxville, delivery in Detroit, and there's that. I end up calling the broker, and the broker says, oh, there's one pickup in Knoxville, one pickup in Detroit, and then the final destination is Grand Rapids, Michigan, which now that just extends your mileage by another 150 miles or something like that. Not to mention
AGA?
Yes, ma'am.
Come on to the scale, please.
Copy. Alright, onto the scale we go. address and stuff just came through for the load that I'm picking up. And 3M Company 400 JD Yarnell. You know what? Last time I went to that place, the load was canceled. I had a pickup there before, and then it was canceled before I got there. So, well, it was canceled before I got there, but they didn't tell me until I got there. So, hopefully it's not the same thing, eh? I mean, if it is what it is, but. So anyways, I was saying earlier with that mail load, you know, advertises pick up in Knoxville, deliver in Detroit. Call up the broker, says you gotta pick up in Knoxville, pick up in Detroit, and then final destination is Grand Rapids, 150 miles extra. It's priced below market for just from here to Grand Rapids, let alone worth the stop in the middle. So I wasn't a dick, honestly. I was nice to the guy. I said, hey, if that's the case, then I'm gonna need a little bit more, and I gave him what I thought it should be, and he didn't want to budge, and you know, that's okay. You know, I'm sure somebody will pick it up. They always do, which that's what pains me a little bit, and I think that's what hurts the industry quite a bit, actually. But this is just my personal opinion, though. You know, I'm not an expert in it. That's what I think. If any of you think differently, hell, let me know in the comments below. Honestly, you know, just because I can think something doesn't mean that there's no other thought out there, or that whatever I think is what's true and what's actually going on. So it may be something else, but anyways, I'll just enjoy my little nitro cold brew in the morning, and then as soon as I'm done here, I'll go to my pickup. Hopefully we get loaded nice and easy, nice and quick, and we go on the way up to Michigan. Depending on what time I get out of there, depending on what time I make it up there, you know, I'll probably go home for the night, and then go and deliver in the morning, since I gotta pass within a couple of miles of where I parked the truck anyway. So I might do that. Go home, relax. Hopefully the power's back on soon. I know my mom is sweating it, my wife is sweating it, and everybody else is at the damn house. But you know, it was a pretty bad storm system that went through. You know, outages all over Michigan, and I think Ohio as well. So you know, it sucks, but you know, it is what it is. I'm sure they're doing their best. You know, there's always, you know, obviously there's always room for improvement. I'm sure they can do things better, but I'm sure they're working, you know, at as much as they can with whatever they have. So, you know, it'll come back on when it'll come back on. It is what it is. All right, just got loaded. Just gotta check out with the security guard, and we out. Guys, didn't take a whole lot to get me loaded. Fairly light load, so it's a little hot down here. You get out in the sun, man, and it's woo-wee, and it's bright outside, which is great. I love the sun. Me personally, I wish I could have a machine that if I'm working, it'd be 75 and sunny, and if I'm at the beach, it'd be 85 and sunny. And then at night, 55. Nice and comfortable. You get a little comfortable blanket, you snuggle up a little bit. But I don't have that, so guys, as always, thank you so much for your love and support. Means a lot to me. If you're new to the channel and you like what you see, don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell. That way you can be notified if there's a video coming out. And that's pretty much all she wrote for this time. See you guys on the next one.